fractional parts of a degree. Fractional parts of degrees. Fractional parts, any fractional part, all right, I've already verbally said it, are measured in minutes and seconds. And you know the relationship between minutes and seconds. All right, so to convert back and forth, the math is relatively simple. All right, so just some common factors, okay? 1 minute, all right, is 1, and then the mathematical notation is just like a little whoosh, little minute sign there, a little hyphen type thing. All right, that's equivalent to 1/60th of a degree, okay, right? Because there's 60 seconds in a minute, there's 60 minutes in an hour, okay, so that should make sense. All right, then taking this conversion should also, you should be able to realize that 1 degree is 60 minutes, okay? 1 degree is 60 minutes. We also have 1 second. All right, the notation for that would be 2 little hash marks. So it's going to look like that. So 1 hash mark is minutes, 2 is seconds. All right, and this is going to be 1/3600th of a degree. Okay, but here we've got 60 seconds in a minute. We got 60 minutes in an hour. Okay, so 60 minutes in 1 degree. Okay, we could have then in just 1 degree, we're going to have 60 seconds. All right, now I just randomly picked some just to kind of get the idea going here. When we do the math to convert, it's going to make total sense to you, I think. This is just me trying to get you used to some common factors that we might use. All right, so let's suppose that we are going to convert to a decimal in degrees. We're going to convert to a decimal in degrees, okay? So that right there is going to tell you how to label your answer. I'm going to have a decimal, and the label is going to be degrees. Convert to a decimal in degrees. All right, and this is going to be the great big huge fractional part. Okay, so if they give you a measurement, like say 31 degrees, 47 minutes, 12 seconds. All right, I don't have a decimal. And my overall answer is in degrees, minutes, and seconds. It's not just in degrees. This part right here represents some type of decimal representation of a degree, a portion of another degree. Okay, so this is going to be real easy. You're just going to use like calculator probably. The 31 degrees is the whole, right? That's a whole 31 degrees. So we're going to take our 31. We're going to add to that this portion. Okay, well, minutes are 1/60th of a degree. So then 47/60. Seconds are 1/3600th of a second. So 12/3600. Okay, you're just going to use calculator. You're going to work it all out. All right. This is 31. This one right here. I mean, if you put it in a calculator, it's going to give you the whole great big thing. Convert it to a decimal. If you did each individual part, like this one's like 0.783 with a line over it, so it repeats forever. All right, this one's like 0.003. Again, that repeats. All right, so you're going to totally 100% use a calculator here. You get something like 31.7866666 repeating degrees. Here's the fractional part. I'm sorry, here's the decimal part that represents this fractional part of another degree. Okay, we're going to probably round out 3 decimal places. Okay, so 31.787. And then I label it degrees because it told me to convert to a decimal. I have a decimal in degrees, so I have a degree on there. Okay, so like you're not going to do this by hand like I did. I was just kind of showing you since we didn't grab our calculators this morning. Okay, it's not hard to do that. All right, so we good there so far? Now, as in math, with everything we do, if I can start here and go to here, I can also start here and end up back to here, right? Because anything you do frontwards, you can also do backwards. So for another type of problem that you're going to have to practice. All right, let's say that we are going to convert to degree, minute, second form. All right, so again, it's going to tell you that right there is going to be what your answer is going to look like. You're going to have so many degrees, so many minutes, so many seconds. That's what your final answer will look like. So obviously we're going to start with that great big long decimal, whatever it is, 21.256 degrees. Okay, so a decimal portion of a degree, and we want to turn it into that minutes and seconds. All right, now think inverse operations. Okay, if I went from this form to this form and I did division, then going the other way, I've got to do multiplication because they're inverse operations. Okay, now you really do need to do this in 2 steps. Okay, you're going to get your minutes first, then you're going to figure out your extra part left over, and then you're going to get your seconds. Okay, so you got to do it in steps. All right, so step 1, I know that this is 21 whole degrees. Okay, so that's 21 degrees. And I got to add to that how many, I've got to figure out how many minutes this is, because I'm going to do minutes and then I'm going to do seconds. So I got to figure out how many minutes this is. So I'm going to take that 0.256, that portion, that decimal right there, and I'm going to multiply it by 60 minutes. That's going to be, that will give me, let's put it that way, that will give me another 15 whole degrees and another portion, this little small portion right here, which is part yet of another one. This is your minutes left over. Okay, so now I'm going to, for my step 2, I'm going to take this and I'm going to break it up into the parts that I know. Okay, so for step 2, I know I've got 21 whole degrees. Okay, and now I know that I've got 15 whole minutes. And then that the decimal there is going to give me a fractional part of seconds. So I know I've got 0.36 minutes. I'm going to take that times 60 seconds. And then this will tell me how many seconds I have. Okay, now I am doing add signs in between here because like we are adding all this up. When I write it in final form, I'll take the add signs out. All right, now this one is going to, again, it's going to give me a decimal. If I multiply those 2 things, I'm going to get like 21.6. And I put too many hash marks on this. Okay, because this is minutes in here. Put too many hash marks. There we go. Let's fix that. All right, so minutes. I'm going to get another decimal. Okay, but now what we're going to do, since I only want degrees, minutes, and seconds, I'm going to take this one and I'm going to round. All right, well, let's call that like 22. Let's just round up. So that's going to be like 22 seconds. So multiply by 60 minutes, multiply by 60 seconds, then you're going to be good. Now, when I write this, I don't want the plus signs in there, but I am, when I'm doing the math, I want to think, you know, because when we add it up, when we go the other way, we add it all up to get to that. Okay. So as a final answer, this is 21 degrees, 15 minutes, 22 seconds. All right. So I took those plus signs out so that I have degrees, minutes, and seconds. So this is basic arithmetic. This is not hard. It's just something you have not done before prior to this time. Okay, so we get so far. That's kind of easy. All right, now my guess is when you went through geometry, you did decimals or degrees. I'm sorry, you did degrees. You never did any of this type of stuff. You probably also never talked about these things called radians. All right, you can measure angles in more than one thing. You can measure it in degrees. I can measure things in degrees, minutes, and seconds. I can also measure things in radians.